So, Mom, I'm recording a video! Hello, I am W and J, and today I'll be talking about the Pinewood Derby. So, what is the Pinewood Derby? The Pinewood Derby is an event that the Cub Scouts would hold every single year. And in this event, you would make a wooden car out of the materials that the pack would give you. These materials include a wooden block, axles, and 4 wheels. You can make anything you want out of those materials, as long as it had 2 axles, 4 wheels, and it met the weight, length, and width requirements. You could do anything. Anything. I literally do mean anything. Then, once you made your car, you would take it to the event, and you would then, place it on this big ramp, absolutely massive ramp, and you would sit down. Someone would pull a lever to release all the cars, and you get to watch your car race 6 to 7 other cars. And at the end of the ramp, there was a finish line, and it would track the time of every single car, and then you would place inside your den. For me, here's a trophy, for example, of this was like a trophy you could win if you placed inside of den. This is a 3rd place trophy. I think 2nd and 1st were kind of similar to this. They might have been a little bit bigger. But this is a 3rd place Pinewood Derby trophy from Tiger Den, which was the den I got at the time. And then you could also place overall in the event, and those were the big trophies. Absolutely big trophies. And you would get to take those home, of course. We also had a side event where you could win a medal for most creative, I think that was it, actually. Oops. Now that you know what the event is, I will be sharing some personal stories about it. So, for my troop, it was like you would get your materials a month before the event actually started, so you had plenty of time to make it. And usually at these meetings, the meetings leading up to the event, they would tell you, what to do with your car, how you should do it. They would usually give you some designs on them for your car. And I really didn't listen to any one of them. I literally just thought, what do I like? What do I like? And the first thing I thought of was fish. And so that's what I did. I just took my materials. I put in the axles, put on the wheels, and I left it as it was. I was like, I'm gonna make this into a fish somehow. And I left it as it was until the meeting before the event actually started. I'm like, oh my god, I need to do something with this. I cannot send it out just as it is. It needs to look something like a fish. So, in my panic, I didn't cut anything into it. I just slapped on some fins, painted it like a fish. That was it. And I somehow got 3rd place in my den from doing that. Don't know how, but I did it. So, that was a very special moment to me, getting 3rd place in my den. I will never forget the moment that I first placed my car on the ramp, and I saw it go down with these 6 to 7 other cars down the ramp and come out first. Out of all of them, I came out first. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was I was so happy with my car. For a last minute scramble, it was actually doing pretty good. So I take my car, and then you watch some other races, with the older dens doing their thing. And then on a screen, there's the top times overall. My name's not on there because I'm in Tiger Den and it's a block of wood. It's not getting a top time. And then at the end of the event, after you would do your races 3 times within your own den, at the end of the event, they would do the 8 top fastest car times and race them down all at once. And whoever got first place there after 3 times of doing it, whoever got the fastest time overall, would win the first place trophy, the second place trophy, and the third place trophy. The 3 big trophies. I never won any of them because I was, because my fish car. I can't win, So, after the end of the event, I was going home. I was saying goodbye to my friends and looking around and seeing the other cars too before I left, and kind of chit-chatting, saying how much I love certain cars. There was this one car that I really did like. It was a fire truck. That was right. I remember seeing this fire truck because it's practically just a block too, but more trimmed down with a ladder on the top. So, Mom, I'm recording a video. I'm somehow gonna have to edit that out. So, it's probably like a block too, but it had a ladder on the top. So pretty similar to my own, and I took great inspiration from it. I don't know really what to say. I was memorized, that someone did the exact same strat as me, but a little differently. So, I went home, and then I got to show my mom and my sister this trophy that I won, and I won it with my fish car, the block of wood. And that was so great. I will truly never forget that. And then, it's next year, right? And I can't quite remember anything that truly happened within the years from my first Pinewood Derby and my last Pinewood Derby. Everything in there, I can't quite remember what I made, who won and who what. But I remember growing up in there. I remember around Bear's Den, people within my own den started using the cheese car. Let me tell you, I don't like the cheese car whatsoever. If you don't know what the cheese car is, maybe you need to hear in a different word. Some people call it the cheese wedge, the wedge car, all of that. So probably what it is you take your block of wood, and you just cut it like that, and you put the axles and wheels on, and then you could paint it whatever you want, right? And that's it. You call it a day. It's not very creative, but it is a fast car because it's super aerodynamic, and it's easy to do too. And you spend a lot of time on it. I don't like it. I never liked it when I was a kid. I never considered doing it, even with my own parents telling me to do it. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do something creative. Because I do remember one year when they were telling me to do it, my grandpa told my parents or me, I can't quite remember, about this guy who lived in his area who was helping kids design their Pinewood Derby cars. So my dad decides to take me over there. I get there, and this place looks awesome to me. There's a bunch of model planes, cars, there's a book of ideas of what to do. It was like everything they sent you when you were a kid in my first Pinewood Derby, but I was actually there and can actually read it off a book. It was like I actually was forced to look at it. And I remember looking through, seeing what I liked, and I came across this police car. And I was like, ooh, I would like having that. So up I go to the wooden bench, and the guy's helping you out. He's like doing all the important cuttings, to give it the police car its shape, and then the rest is up to me to paint it. And I colored it black. I painted the doors white. I made the light bar half of it red, half of it blue. It looked so good. The windshields were blue too. It was such a good car. It was really something to me because I made it, with the help of the instructor, but I colored it. I'm the one that picked it out. I was very proud of it. So I go to the Pinewood Derby with my prize car, and I'm showing it off to all the other kids. We're comparing our cars, seeing, deciding who do you think is gonna win the most creative? Who do you think is gonna win the fastest time? We're chit chatting up, and in comes this one kid. I think he's Luke. I'm gonna call him Luke from now on. And Luke, he comes up to the group, and he just shows them this Formula One car. It was crazy. It had like the body of a Formula One car. The axles were just like cylinders where the axle rod would go and the wheels were there. It was crazy detailed. We were all like, whoa, dude. That's not what we said at all. But it was like, whoa, this thing is amazing. I think it's gonna win most creative. I remember saying that. And so it's an event day. I put up my car, and the 6 and 7 other people put up their cars. We raced them. Nothing I think really special happened with my car, of course. But Luke, his car, it went flying down the ramp. It was fast. He definitely placed, I think he was first in his den. And I think he didn't quite get, I think he got 4th place overall with the the 3 big races, And I was cheering him. I was happy, because that car was the most impressive thing I have seen. He did win the most creative, because that is creative. What kid thinks of Formula One and then actually goes through with making it? I mean, whoa. It was, that car looked so nice. He never brought it back, though. I think next year and the other years, he'd use the cheese car. And, as we know, I don't like the cheese car. One bit. And there we are. And I do remember my last Pinewood Derby. My very last one. I remember it kind of well. I remember I was trying to make it this spaceship, asteroid, it's an asteroid that a spaceship was made into. I had the vision, I had the drawings. I didn't have the skill to make it, though. I tried doing it. It didn't work out. It was more of, angular, and I couldn't quite get the meteor shape to work. It didn't look too good. It didn't look as good as I wanted to, and it was very sad for me, seeing how it looked, because I knew it wasn't going to look as good as my drawings, or as good as I imagined it, but it somehow turned worse out than how I expected it to look. I was not very proud of it, but it was too late to go back and fix it. The most sad part for me was that I had this cool thing for the back. It was gonna be 2 pieces of plank, reaching out to a little point, and then inside this little hole is gonna be a color blue for the flame, right? I it didn't work. I couldn't do it. I didn't have enough skill to do it. So we just so we kind of just made a thruster to for it. It was kind of like that, kind of like a cone on the back. I was not very proud of it, but it was mine. I couldn't go back and ask for another block. It was too late to do it. So I painted it the best that I could, and I tried to make the best of it that I can. And up to event day, didn't really do anything special, right? Didn't even win most creative. But that was my last one. I didn't even know it was gonna be my last one. It just was. Then I aged out of the pack, and I went into troop. And you don't do Pinewood Derby in the troop. You don't do it anymore. And so I guess in conclusion, everything that we learned in the Pinewood Derby is that it's an event year round. You race your wooden cars, you make your wooden cars. You definitely have a lot of fun stories to tell. If you have been in the Pinewood Derby before, please let me know your stories down in the comments below. And like would be appreciated, and if you subscribe, that would be even better. So I guess I'll leave you off on this note. Don't make a cheese car. If you did that, I don't like you.